Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, and welcome back to Train Sim World. Now normally I would say what scenario or what DLC we're on, but we've been kind of knocking out scenarios. We're all done on Rapid Transit, we're all done on Great Western, we have a couple left on NEC, but I don't think they're very interesting, and we have a couple left on CS6 Heavy Haul. They're not interesting, and they are very long. So I thought instead we would try a service. I tried one earlier. Not earlier today, I mean earlier, like a couple months back. I have to say it didn't work out too well. So let us try another one. And we haven't driven this locomotive for a minute. So we will get in the 166. And, you know, I like it a little, let's do a little autumn drizzle. Right. And I'm not going to do a whole service. We don't have time for that. So let's go London to Oxford. We won't go the whole way. Maybe we'll go halfway. We'll figure it out. Here we go. So yeah, it's just going on 2200 where I am, and I have a feeling I am not going to get any sleep tonight at all. I've just felt like I haven't been able to sleep lately. All right. Stop at Ealing Broadway, 5 miles, 8:05. So we have a few minutes to get there. Lights on. Wipers on. All right. Turn that on. That like so. Don't know if I'm supposed to do that. I just like doing it. Brake pressure comes up. Here we go. So I will tell you that NVIDIA updated drivers last night. Or I updated my NVIDIA drivers last night, and my FPS in all my sims has been all over the map. I did an ATS recording earlier, and I was kind of bummed because I had added some things to the game. I added some post-processing. Did I say that right? Yeah, post-processing. And I added some texture packs for greenery, for shrubs and trees and whatnot, for mountains, and for pavement textures, road textures. And the first time I play the game with all that stuff added, my frame rate is just in the toilet. I'm kind of bummed about that. And I spent, I don't know, probably half an hour after I got done. I spent probably half an hour messing with the game and you know, selectively disabling mods. I took out the post-processing stuff, and I couldn't find anything that really kind of jumped out at me as the culprit. And when that happens, I get there's something called target fixation. I don't know if you've ever heard that term. It's used in military aviation, and essentially target fixation is when you get so focused on something that you're trying to shoot at that you fly your plane into it. It's a real thing. It's like buck fever. You just right? You just kind of go blind to everything else. And I really make an effort not to do that in anything, about anything. But I recognize that as OCD as I am, I sometimes get a little fixated on one solution or what I think of as one solution, and I kind of neglect everything else. So I've got some tricks that I use to avoid that, but you know, it didn't even occur to me as I was enabling and disabling mods, as I was trying various things to try to get my frame rate back. It didn't even occur to me. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's not the mods or the post-processing. Maybe it's something else. So the only other thing it could be is, well, not the only other thing, but a likely culprit would be those graphics drivers, because I mean, NVIDIA, they don't hit a home run every time. There's a lot of threads on doing rollbacks because they miss the mark from time to time. So I will look into that. But right now we're at about 35 FPS. Looks decent. That wiper is looks like it's stuttering a little bit. And oh, this is going to sound mental. I honestly don't know whether my game's just being a little stingy with the FPS or whether the developers actually replicated the way a wiper kind of skips across a surface that is wet but not 100% wet, like the windscreen of a locomotive in the autumn. You know what I'm saying. I know you know. So we'll see. Is it this one? No, it's this one. They're deactivated right now, right? So yeah, I'll sort that out. But man, it is this sim gaming lifestyle, man. It is just nonstop. And I know I sound whiny when I say that, like, oh, my hard life, but it really is. PC world is so different than console world. And what's funny is I'm the portable gamer, right? Like that's my whole thing is I'm portable and I'm play on laptops instead of desktop systems. I play on the pad instead of on the wheel. All that stuff. You know how I do. And I think sometimes, if I were really the portable gamer, I would just get an Xbox, right? Get an Xbox and a wireless, and whatever hotel room I'm in, just HDMI to the TV, because every hotel room now has a massive TV. And Elgato. So Xbox to Elgato to the flat screen. Now, that's portable, right? But I don't know, man. I think it's a combination of mods. I think part of it is that I wouldn't say that I like when things don't work, but I like being able to mess with things. Like I don't know how many of my videos you're watching, but the whole arc of trying to get F1 into Assetto Corsa and the whole deal, right? So it looks like we finally have it solved. I'm on F1 2017. I need to practice a bit. I need to get better at that game before I start making videos. But that's what's coming. And then I find out today, I'm on Race Department looking for Assetto Corsa mods because I knew Assetto Corsa could be modded, but I really hadn't modded it. I just got some tracks and some cars, and then the whole thing with the F1 pack, and now the Skybox and the reshade. The whole deal. So I'm going to Race Department periodically, like I go to other sites to look for ETS and ATS mods. Now I'm going to Race Department to look for Assetto Corsa mods. And while I'm there, I just happen to look over, and what do you know? You can mod F1 2017. So I think that is part of what I like about PC is that it just never stops. But then the downside is, the bad part is, it just never stops. It really doesn't. It's nonstop, and it's frustrating if you like solving problems, but it's also frustrating because you have a lot of problems. Frame rate. I'm watching my frame rate. Watching. Yeah, I thought it was ATS. I thought it was those mods that I brought in, but I think could be the driver. And what's funny is, it's one of those things where you go and look, and maybe it's the driver that I downloaded yesterday, and then you go and look, and between yesterday and today, they fixed it, right? I hit both those buttons. I don't know if I need to, but I do. Let's go out here and stretch our legs a little bit. Good morning. Hello. Yeah, I don't know if that's the if that's the culprit or not. I mean, I think this is a fantastic render. That looks good. I'm happy with that. I'm happier with the train and the platform than I am with the people. But you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Works for me. I, hmm, right? That's working for me. I'd be happier if it wasn't so. Wasn't so inconsistent in terms of FPS. But you know, what can you do? It's always going to be something. Give a little, right? Brake pressure coming up. And here we go. All right, so we are going to. Are we saying Southall? Are we saying Southall? Are we saying Southall? Either way, we've got about 3 minutes to go 3 miles. So let's let her buck here. And I've got a very small space. I really do need to get a trackball. The problem is I can't find a good gaming trackball. But I've got a very small space on my desk for my mouse, so I need to, you know, the thing where you like pick it up and move it over and try to set it down without it recognizing that it's been moved, so you can continue your pan, right? I'm doing a lot of that. So, and I thought about this when I was doing some farming. I also thought about how weird it is that I keep saying we, I just mean me. I don't know what you do, but how weird it is that when I'm gaming, I do a lot of what I think of as work sims. You know, driving a train is work. I would call it work. Farming obviously is work. It's good. Driving a truck is work. So when I think of these work sims, I think, you know, what do you do when you're at work? Well, I don't know, you just pass the time and do your job. And I realized how funny it is that I tend to talk in Sims, I tend to talk about things that are different from the sim that we're in. Like, I don't talk a lot about Train Sim when we're in Train Sim. You know, I kind of hung up on this Formula One thing right now. So, yeah, our frame rate is just, we're at 15 FPS right now. What the hell? And now we're back to 35, 40. I don't know, man. I'll keep working on it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, thinking about racing videos and trucking videos while I'm driving a train, but then while I'm driving a truck, I'm thinking about Formula One, and then now, I guess the flip side to that is when I'm in a Formula One car, all I'm thinking about is Formula One. That has got to be one of the most focusing games that I've ever played. I do love it, and it's really unexpected. I did not think that I would be. You know, I've been in the truck sims and I've been on the farm sim for a year, for 18 months, and I really didn't think that I would be doing a lot of driving. And then there was the Project Cars 2 and the Assetto Corsa. You know, that kind of, I wouldn't say it sprang up out of nowhere, but I didn't think I'd be going in that direction. And then from there, that sort of, I don't know, led to F1. It's interesting how things go. Formula One it's weird to think about. I keep going too far when I come off the brakes. It's weird to think about driving a Formula One car, and obviously a simulation of a Formula One car is not anything like driving a Formula One car, and I am not in any way suggesting that because I can turn a decent lap in a sim that I could ever turn a decent lap in an F1 car. Not what I'm suggesting. Everything open? We good? Are we cool? We're cool. Not what I'm suggesting, but being able to, like, I was practicing at the Red Bull Ring earlier, and I was turning like 122s, I think, or 112s. I can't remember, but I was turning laps that are consistent with the laps that drivers are turning at the Red Bull Ring right now. And particularly coming out of the S's in that last little S section before the final straight, before the two right-handers that take you onto the front straight. Coming through those S's, the way you have to just snap the car from one side to the other as fast as you can snap the car from one side to the other. And just thinking that's how you have to drive in the sim if you want to put up those lap times. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it does. Brakes coming off. Here we go. So it's a really intense process, and it's I guess fascinating. I don't want to overuse that word, but it is. It's fascinating to me that you would do something for fun that is that mental and just it's such a crazy thing to do. It's fun. I love it, but I guess I'm saying it's a really odd way to relax. Well, that's a lot of trains happening right now. And see, no, that's interesting. One of my, I don't want to say complaints, but something that I've noticed about this game is when there's other rolling stock being rendered out the front window, the frame rate really drops off, particularly in the Maryland sections, in the CSX heavy haul proper areas. And as those two trains passed us, we held low 30s. They're gone now, and we're bouncing between 20 and 30. So I don't know. I can't find any rhyme or reason to it. But I'll mess with it tonight, and like I said, I know console world, you don't have these problems, and I know mods. I can blame it on the mods. Oh, I just like messing with mods. But I think part of it is I like solving all these problems. Is it a Windows update? Is it a background process? I try to keep Windows set up so that nothing ever happens while I'm working. I have it scheduled to do all its maintenance in the middle of the night. But it's Windows. Windows Windows sort of does what it wants. So it's just another problem to solve. Just another problem to solve. Fun stuff, man. And I did the first thing that I'm going to mod in F1 2017 is the lighting and the look and feel of the game. I found a post-processing render whatever thing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. And I don't want to say I feel bad. I sort of feel bad. I mean, it doesn't bother me. Well, it doesn't really bother me when, like, if I'm just gaming, if it's just me and I'm just gaming, and things aren't working well, like there's lag or there's crashes or whatever. It's not the end of the world. I don't get terribly upset about that. but it does. Yeah, that's all right. It does. How do I want to say it? I guess it just bothers me more when I'm recording because I know you get to see it, and it's not. I wouldn't say that I'm embarrassed, but really close. That's not. That's maybe not exactly the right word, but you know what I'm getting at. And it's, you choose to do this to make some YouTube videos, and I guess there's a. I guess you just assume that your equipment is going to be up to snuff and your drivers are going to be up to date and right, you're going to be able to hold like initially. Oh, when I was always 1080 from day one. I've been 1080, but I started at 30 FPS for my uploads, and then at some point I bumped up to 60. And once I saw the 60, okay, I'm never going back. But I couldn't tell you. I mean, there's so many series that I like. There's so many gamers that I follow on YouTube, and there are some of them that have really standout quality in terms of like what you're looking at. But I don't know of a single one that I've ever felt that they had like bad quality. I think there are some gamers that I follow that may not be the best quality. I mean, I followed one guy that uploaded his videos in 720, and it didn't bother me. They look fine. And it's not like I'm in a hotel. I was in another hotel a few days ago, and there was this giant 4K TV, and it was a smart TV. So just for kicks, I was curious. I said, let me throw up one of my videos. I'm curious what my videos look like on a giant 4K TV, and look fine. But for the most part, I watch videos on tablet, on phone. I watch YouTube at the end of the day. When my day is done, when I've got Sports Center on one TV, and if there's a late baseball game, I'll have that on my tablet, and then I'm watching YouTube on my phone. Yeah, I'm that guy. And 720 looks pretty good on a phone. I don't know if 720 would look good on a 60-inch 4K TV, but it looks fine on a phone. So I realize people are probably not as hard on me as I am on myself, and I realize I'm not as hard on other people as they are on themselves. But it's still, I want the quality to be there, and when the quality is not there, like when the FPS isn't there, when the render's no good, when the whatever, immediately I feel like, I got to upgrade my equipment. This looks terrible. Like, you call yourself a YouTube gamer. This looks terrible. And yeah, man, I won't quite say embarrassed, but it's like, it's in the same neighborhood. It's definitely in the same neighborhood. Right, we need to get into West Drayton. Well, right now. We're late. I don't know how we're late. Because we were on time for our last stop, weren't we? And we came here at maximum throttle. All right, so it goes. You know what it is. It's that horn I keep messing with. We're losing like 10 to 15 seconds per stop, me messing with that horn. Maybe I'll stop doing that. Plus, I don't think I'm supposed to sound the horn when I leave a station. This ain't America. Well, we'll still be, if I get it stopped in time, we'll still be within that. I believe it's a 1 minute buffer you get. You have to be within the minute. And so we are. Right. Okay. Take a look outside. Looks good. I'm happy with it. Yeah, that works for me. It's just it's just the damn frame rate, man. I think part of it is I'm on a 1050, and I think part of it is it's just a 1050. You know, and when I say that, I don't mean it's just a 1050. I mean it's just it's like I'm gonna max out. You know, I max out at 16 gig of RAM. I can't run. I can run two 8 gig sticks. I can't run two 16 gig sticks. So I'm maxed out at at 16. I'm just maxed out. So no horn. Let's get out of here. Right. Leadfoot, fast as fast can be. We're going to Ivor. We need to be there in a minute and a half. Well, I think we can do it. Uh, it's the nature of 1050. So you know the thing about cards is they change them and upgrade them every year. Is 1080? Is there 1090 yet? I think there is a 1090. So game developers build games for the hottest cards that are available. And because the games are so hot, then people have to upgrade their cards to be able to run the games, which means they have hotter cards. So the next round, the developers build games for the hotter cards, and it's you know what I'm saying. It's chasing the dragon, which is totally cool, but you never get caught up, you know. So I'm already building my next system in my head, and I will be on a 1080 with 32 gig of RAM, and you know it'll be fine for a while, and then there'll be sims that come out, there'll be games that come out that tax it, and if you keep any system long enough, eventually it won't be able to run software in a meaningful way. It's just there's no way to get around it. It's just the nature of technology. Moore's constant, whatever. The I Ching. So I'm totally pleased with my system. I'm not complaining at all. And you know what? I'll tell you a secret. Just between me and you and YouTube. Just between me and YouTube. Yeah, you like that. Admit it. Just between me and YouTube. If I weren't recording these, I would probably back the graphics down a little bit. And that would bump my frame rate up. And I'd find that sweet spot that is like a bit of a compromise on graphics and a bit of a compromise on frame rate, but you put the two together and you're nothing but happy. You know what I'm talking about. Right. And I feel like this is kind of a short platform, so we need to stop like right on the button. Button. On it. Right. How are we doing on our route? We've gone about halfway. Let's go two more stops and then we'll call it. But it got real quiet all of a sudden. Real quiet. Whoa. No, I don't think I care for that. Let's. It's a cool day in autumn. Let's turn some heat on. Where's our heat? Is it here? Go to the hot side. Got our fan on low. I like the fan on low. I also like. There's a little secret about me. I live in the mountains a lot. I spend a lot of time in the mountains, like big mountains, living at 7,000, 8,000 feet, and obviously there's a lot of snow. And I'm talking about ski resort towns in the American West. I've been lucky enough to live all over Colorado and Montana and Wyoming and Utah and California, Northern California. But I live in those high ski towns, those high resort towns. 827. This one I think will be okay, unless we hit a drastic change in speed. But no matter how cold it gets, no matter how snowy it gets, even in Montana, and I lived in Missoula for a while, and I lived in uh, Laramie, Wyoming briefly, and it is cold, man. It is like cold, cold. But no matter how cold it got, I always liked having the window open, just a crack and some fresh air coming in. So I do like heat, but I love fresh air. Now you know a little something about me. Right. We gonna make it? We got a minute to go a mile. We're not yet over 60, and we have to slow down when we get to the other end so we don't go past the platform. Not likely, but hope springs eternal, yo. What time did we start? 2200? I'll go a couple more stops. I'll try to go half an hour at least. Right. Oh, this is going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to late break. Let's see how late I can break. Oh, this is a bad idea. Here we go. I could probably break a little later than that if you think about it, because I'm off the brakes right now. And how could I be if we? Maybe not. Maybe not. 27. I mean, it's gonna be 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Come on. 30 seconds is like. Oh, other way. If you're sending a text, that takes 30 seconds. Right. I don't know if I need to hit that second one. I hit it anyway. Let's go out here. Yep, I'll look online. I'll see if I can find a thread. But you know what? I take that back. I was thinking I'd see if I can find a thread on the latest driver. But going online and asking, hey, is anybody having a problem with this latest NVIDIA driver? Or how do you feel about this latest NVIDIA driver? It's like going online and saying, what do you think of the latest Marvel movie? And you just get, it's like sticking your face in a jet engine. You just get blasted with hate. So I don't know. I'll just ride it out. Or I can always do a rollback. If I think it's that big of a problem, I can always do a rollback. Plus, it's raining. Right? So that's another thing. Like, oh, I remember this from last time. Slough is the station. Mm-hmm. What was I thinking? Slough or slow? No, no. Slough. Uh, what the hell was I just saying? Something about rollback. As far as taxing these games, yeah, I mean it's raining. It's raining, and I have my graphics uh, pretty high. Not as high on this sim as on some others because it's kind of an FPS pig. Speaking of FPS pig, uh, I have my graphics settings turned down just a tiny bit, but it's raining. Or like on ATS earlier, oh, it's terrible. Well, look at all the texture mods you have running, and then you throw in post processing. Processing. Did I say that right? Post processing. Yeah, of course it's slowing down. You're taxing your graphics card. What did you think was going to happen? So, yeah, it's what I can say. It's what we do. It's what I do. It's definitely what I do. It's like I make my life difficult, and then I observe how difficult my life is. But it's not. I'm joking when I said it's not really difficult. Gaming, I make gaming a pain in the ass, but my life as a whole is not at all difficult. I have a very easy, very comfortable life compared to, oh, I don't know, like 3/4 of the people on the planet. I don't want to go all social activist on you, but it's when you realize how some people on this world live their whole lives. For me, that makes it very difficult for me to complain about mine. There are literally billions of people, billion with a B. There are billions of people that would trade places with me right now, and they wouldn't be thinking about, oh, you got a graphics card, you got RAM, it wouldn't be any of that stuff. It would be things like you have clean water, you have a safe place to sleep. So hard to complain when you realize that there are so many people that are really, really hurting, literally at this moment. So 40 seconds. I think we're going to be okay on this one. I'm trying to late brake. Trying to. I feel like we're not slowing down. Are we headed downhill or something? No. We just got the momentum. Oh, we're going to be on time. Holy smokes. We're going to be on time. Come on. Come on. A little further. A little further. There it is. There it is. Beautiful. Oh, to the second. Folks, welcome to Slough. Is that where we are? Sure enough. I'm coming out here, and I'm not taking any screenshots, but I'm thinking of thumbnails when I look at these. Now it needs a little more. Yeah.
For your safety and comfort, this station operates a no smoking policy. This includes e-cigarettes.
That sort of makes me want to, oh crap. Oh. Sort of makes me want to tug on my vape. I'll need to wait till we're getting too close to departure. But as soon as we leave, I'll do that. There is no ban on e-cigarettes in my hotel room. At least as far as I know. Boy, if there is, that would be embarrassing. Right? Maidenhead. 6 miles. And we've got 6.5 minutes to get there. Right. So, pedal to the metal in here. Vape out here. And one thing that's different about these services versus scenarios is you will have more red lights. In fact, I ran a red light in a service. I wouldn't say I was goofing off, but I wasn't recording or anything. I was just gaming to game, and I got so used to the signals and the switches and everything being all in our favor when we're doing. That's not us. When we're doing the scenarios, that I forgot that they are not necessarily all in our favor when we're doing services. Although, having said that, I remember we did a CSX scenario where we did have to wait at a red light, and I was curious how long we'd have to wait there. And then on some thread, some thread that I was reading, guy said that he sat at a red signal for like 10 minutes. He thought the game was glitched out. Because he was just sitting there. He was waiting and waiting. And we're back to 125. Okay. Yeah, he was just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I thought the game was broken, but it was. It's accurate in that way. It replicates the service schedule for an area for a local railroad. So, yeah, okay. I guess there's going to be times when you just wait. Accurate, not. I don't know. I still don't know. I don't have that many people coming to the channel right now, so I really don't know what people are looking for. I got my first downvote though a while back. I was happy about that, but I haven't received a lot of feedback other than friends and family, people that are checking it out, and I think most people don't really understand what I'm doing or why, and this is not really their thing. So I feel like I appreciate their feedback definitely, but I feel like for a lot of them they just don't get it. But to be fair, a lot of people in my world, gaming is not on their radar. They're not gamers. They don't really get it. And then the people that I know that do game are more into console, and it's typically one genre. So it's like all first-person shooters, or all driving, or all MMORPG. There's not too many of those for console, but I don't know. I mean, what would you call? Obviously, God of War isn't MMORPG, but it's that same sort of fantasy genre, right? And it's weird because it's also a first-person shooter, even though you're not shooting a gun, you're throwing an axe. But when I think of first-person shooter, I tend to think of like Call of Duty or Medal of Honor or something like that. So tricky. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know nothing. I really don't. Let's go. Marker lights, daylight. I mean, it's foggy. I guess we could leave the headlights on. How do we look out front? So like this helicopter shot. I feel like Liam Neeson should be running along the top of the train. Did Liam Neeson ever run on a train? Surely he has. In his whole career, Liam Neeson must have run on top of a train. Right. Back inside. So we got 3 minutes. I think we'll be okay on this one. I hope. Yeah, we should be okay. And I'm going to slow down early for this 40-mile-an-hour zone, just to be safe. We got a little cushion, do we? Well, no, we don't, because if we have to slow down to 40 and we still have a mile to go, yeah, no, because it's only the last little bit where we have to slow down to 40. I forget in these games, and I guess I don't want to say spoiled, but that Euro Truck Simulator life. You need to get the job in, but it's so much easier to go the speed limit. To be right at the speed limit. So, and now we're back up, but we're coming into the station. You see what I'm saying? I feel like it's harder to maintain a minimum speed in the train than it is in the truck. All right. Take a look at the map when we leave here, and I may call it. I'll take a look at the map while we're a little hot. Oh man, that's like 2 in a row. 3 seconds. Right. So we got those going. We're loading. Let's take a look. What do you think? You just want to grind it out? I don't know where we started. If we started all the way down here, I think we're good. Because that's 2/3, so we got maybe another 15, 20 minutes. And we're not going all the way, we're going to Oxford. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. It's a Monday night. I got storms rolling in, thunderstorms rolling in. Looks like there might be tornadoes. Let's play a little train sim. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm getting no FPS drop when there's other rolling stock being rendered, which is unusual, but the overall frame rate is lower. And that could be part of it too. It could be the reason there's no drop is because it's already so low. Is that a thing? What's his name again? Here we go. Yeah. We're going further now. So I think we'll be able to, let's take a look. Yeah, that's nearly the end of the line right there. Cool. Glad I made that call. And have another sip of coffee. I ran out of tea. There's a grocery store like right up the street, but I don't feel like going up there. But I ran out of tea, so I'm drinking coffee at 22:40. That's smart. That'll help you sleep. What's weird is I don't drink a lot of coffee. I typically have one cup when I wake up, sometimes two. But I'm not one of those people that drinks coffee all day. I don't drink like 10 cups a day. I don't pound espresso or anything. So I'm not one of those people that I know people that are so addicted to caffeine they have to have a cup of coffee or they can't sleep because the like the detox from caffeine, what do you call it? The withdrawal from caffeine that happens if they don't have any for more than 20 minutes is more disruptive to their sleep cycle than the caffeine that they're sort of numb to, if that makes sense. I don't know if you've ever spent time around like actual people that use a lot of drugs, but your whole, and I'm not saying caffeine is like an actual drug. I don't mean it like that, but it's a drug. It's a psychoactive drug. If you've ever spent time around people that take a lot of drugs, it's weird how you know, I joke about chasing the dragon, but it's weird how twisted your system can get as far as, you know, what your response is to various chemicals. So I'm saying a cup of coffee before I go to sleep is no more likely to keep me up than my insomnia. If it was that big a deal, I wouldn't have it. I used to, in my younger days, I used to drink a big Red Bull, and that would help me sleep. But that was a few years ago. That was a different time in my life, back and forth between California and Thailand constantly. So I don't even think I had a sleep schedule. I think my sleep schedule was so broken at that point that it's like nothing could make it worse. So may as well make it worse. Right. I don't know if I even need to do this, but I do it. And I don't know if it's a setting. I mean, I feel like in Train Simulator 2018, Train Simulator up to version 2018, I feel like the alerters and the auto brake was more set up differently. It seemed like it was triggering all the time. I haven't had nearly as much of a problem with it in. We coming to a train? Coming to a little buddy? No. Oh, hey. Look at us. You get what I'm saying. Maybe you do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. Not like back in the day when I knew everything. That was good times. Right. Well, this is quick work. Getting into Twyford. And then I believe... I thought there was a longer spur to get to Oxford. Are we going to Oxford? Yeah, I'm almost positive we are. And we're going to be This is my dilemma every time. I feel like, I mean, I know I've gotten the red X for being early, but you have to be more than a minute early. And I feel like, oh, I could slow down right now and just coast in there. And then I think, no, man, a bunch of stuff's going to happen between here and there. And we're not going to be as early as we think we're going to be. We'll see. We'll see. Here we go. I'm also hoping it doesn't do that thing where it bumps me over onto another track and instantly the speed limit drops like 50 miles per hour. Right. No, it's still a mile and a half. We're not a mile and a half and we got a minute and a half. Not as early as I thought we were. Okay, glad I didn't slow down. Let's just take it in. Yeah. After we're done with this, after I'm done with this service, I'll take a look and see how the game looks in just regular weather, just regular summer weather without the mist, without the rain. I'll take a look. And I'll also, I know I'll regret it, but I'll take a look online and see what people are saying about that latest driver update. Now I'm supposed to have, because I've got the G-Force experience. Oh, God. It just dropped to like nothing. What is going on, man? Um, All right. I've also got the GeForce Experience, and there's supposed to be some way that it's set up where, uh, I mean, I can launch games directly from the GeForce Experience, and NVIDIA claims that their drivers are like optimized per game, and that they have special things in them to make. This is interesting. This is fantastic. I love it. Man. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's background processes. I don't know if that's Windows. I just want to make good videos, man. I don't need this crap. Oh, God. That's nice. Down. I said that's nice. Down the steps. Give it. There it is. This guy. Why are you wearing snowboarding pants, son? What's that all about? I'm getting back in cab. That's it. Gonna give me a headache. Yeah, could be background processes. Could be a lot of things. I don't know. I really, as far as I knew, I had all that stuff turned off so that it only does its thing late night. How far are we going? Green, green, green. I know I need to like get back in cab. It's only supposed to do its thing in the middle of the night, and there really shouldn't be anything else going on. As far as processes, and I have, my startup menu is absolutely, not my startup menu, my list of startup processes and apps is absolutely minimal. First thing I do when I get a laptop is I go in and pull all the bloatware and crap off it. All the HP stuff, all the Windows stuff, all the the Xbox stuff. Xbox is a great system, but I don't want it on my laptop. And there's the Xbox game recorder and other things that are like, I mean, I get it. It's Windows. Windows is like, hey, I'm here to help. Even if you don't want my help, I'm here to help. And I guess we can go a little bit faster for a minute. Getting rid of all that stuff is probably good for, I don't know, 10%, 15% bump in FPS. But uh, it's still a process to get rid of it all. And I miss a little bit. Some of it reinstalls with updates. I love that. When you uninstall something that you absolutely do not want on your computer, and the next time there's an update, Windows is like, oh, hey, you know that thing you absolutely didn't want? I gave it back to you. I thought maybe you were confused and you really did want it, so there it is. Enjoy. But that's just Microsoft being Microsoft. So, uh, so yeah, man, what can you do? I'll track it down. I'll figure it out. And speed limit just went way up for us. We just need to wait for the tail of the train to clear it. Here we go. Leadfoot, we got what, 5 minutes, 4 miles? And I guess we're going to Reading, not Oxford. What was I thinking? Cool. This will be our last stop. Okay, that works out. That'll be about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Perfect. Let's go out here. Yeah, something's different. Something's something's not the same as it used to be. Hmm. Okay. Well, so it goes. That'll be my project for tonight. That and practicing Albert Park. I'm going to have to do in F1 2017. I'm going to have to do a lot of free play and I guess just like off-season practice laps or whatever you want to call it, and just try to string all those together before I start a season, before I start a championship or a career, or whatever. I guess. Well, there's two things. There's a championship, which is one season, and then there's a career where you can do multiple seasons. You can actually like jump back and forth between teams. You can be offered a contract. Like if you're with Toro Rosso, you can be bumped up to Red Bull and then bumped up to Ferrari, or are they not affiliated anymore? I guess they never really were affiliated. Red Bull was just buying engines from Ferrari, buying their year-old engines, whatever. But you get what I'm saying. You can be, if you do well, you can be offered a contract by a better team or a higher ranked team. So you can do multiple seasons. And as far as I know, your tech upgrades stay with you because there's a tech tree and an XP structure. So as far as I know, and I can't see why it wouldn't. I mean, oh, you know what? I take that back. It might. That would be so cruel. But but basically, it's my understanding that you take your XP and your tech tree with you if you switch teams. But if you go to a better team, maybe you don't. You know, maybe you have to redevelop tech. But keep in mind that the team you're going to probably has better tech if they're higher ranked anyway. Does that make sense? Did I say that right? What's his name again? I think it makes sense. I think you feel me. Right. And we're back to 90 miles an hour for a speed limit. But I feel like we're close enough and we're on time enough. I don't really want to mess with it and blow through a red signal or something. Right. So there's 40. Okay. Normally when we get in, Normally, when I get in, I button up the train and turn everything off. I don't know. I think I might skip that tonight. Let me see how the OCD is doing when we get parked. Or I guess, well, we're not really going to park. We're just going to stop. And now I did this. I did one of these services. It told me to get out of the train. And then when I did, the train drove away. So maybe I won't turn everything off. Yeah, let's try that instead. It was it was a little freight service. I was taking intermodal cars behind the little 66 freight. So let's see. But we're gonna be nearly on time again. I guess I'm getting the hang of it, man. Right. A little bit early. Distance-wise, not time-wise. Right. Unlock doors. That's this side, right? There you go. Not the end of the scenario? Nope. All right. Let's see what else they got for us. Got a red light up ahead. This might be the end of it. We'll see. Where's my coffee at? Love it. Right. Okay. How do we do on time? Fantastic. Leveling up like crazy over there. Holy smokes. Cool. I think we're done. Folks, thank you so much for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Train Sim World Great Western Express DLC. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.